What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So obviously we haven't been on here for about a week. So I got sick and we decided just to kind of take some rest time and stay away from Kyle and not get Kyle sick.
Yes, exactly.
Since we're gonna be up in Hamburg this weekend. So if you're there at the reptile show, come see us. So welcome back, guys. Let's get into today's video of updating you guys on what's going on here at the property.
So as you can see, the janky pump setup, I think we talked about it before. We had the pump over here. We had to move everything for the new enclosures. But with all that, you know, this is really coming together. So this is the reason. Did we talk about this, Ryan?
We did.
Okay.
So it's going to be a continuation of the other ponds.
Yep. So this is finalized here. So now we've got chain link around everything. And then what we're going to do is cut this here. And then we're going to build the 11 ponds now. 11.
And by cut this, you're cutting just this piece of wood, right?
Yep. And we're just going to put a joint here to run this way. So I know we've talked about 10 ponds, 12 ponds, 11 ponds. The final number is 11. So I did all the measurements, all the spacing, like what I learned with these enclosures. You know, I like the spacing in between the pond to the fence, or to the sheep pile, so I want to kind of replicate that for the smaller ones, just smaller ponds and everything, but I don't want to have it so tight where it's super dangerous if you go in there. So all these need, guys, is a back gate and sod, and even though we are working with subcontractors, so the grass and the gates, they say it'll be done this week. So guys, we should have all these 10 enclosures done this week.
And once they're done, what's your kind of estimated time before we're moving crocs again? Because I'm sure everyone out there wants to see crocodiles and wants to see us move them again, and you've got 9 enclosures that are ready. So
that's the thing, is now this week we're going to go through and really finalize exactly who goes where. We've always been talking about, well, this guy is going to go here and this guy's going to go there. I even had a conversation with a gentleman last night that, you know, could change where I put the Philippine crocodiles, so I'm just trying to figure out exactly where I want to put them. But
conversation with a guy last night, what do you mean?
We might get an extra male, so that could mix it up, where the 3 enclosures now need to be 4 because we need to have another male in there too. Or just exchange that male for the other one, and then we'd be fine with 3, because he's an unrelated male and the 3 I have are siblings. So it'd be best to get that other male and then just exchange them. But we're getting close. I mean, there's crocodiles, you know, that we need to go through the greenhouse and, you know, pick and choose exactly who goes where. But a lot of these will easily fill up. And that's the goal this month, is to really start moving.
So when do you think we'll be doing the first move? Because obviously Philippines we could talk about, but the other ones, there are some animals that are kind of like set in stone kind of to go in here. Or that we kind of decided on. When do you think people can expect to see some moves? I
mean, I don't see why we couldn't start moving next week if the subcontractors pull through. We get the sod in, we get the gates in, let the grass at least settle a week, and then go from there. But guys, I'm extremely happy with these enclosures. The biggest thing is you don't know until you put crocodiles in, and with these now crocodiles, I mean, you got 14 crocodiles that are over 5 feet in the medium enclosure. So this is definitely, you know, the absolute max we'd ever have in these enclosures.
But honestly, they don't look too bad.
And they don't. That's the thing, is like, you know, was it going to kill the grass? Are they just going to have the water muddy all the time? The answer is always no, guys. I mean, I cannot be happy with these enclosures. So the only thing is, what I've noticed is these guys probably honestly spend 75% of the time out of the water. And that's what I've been preaching so many times, is that these animals need land space. You know, so many facilities and so many enclosures you see are like 75% water, you know, and they just have a little bit of land around the edges. But guys, they utilize every single inch of this land. And look, I mean, you can find them out all day, every day. And if it's too hot, you think they go in the water, right? Nope, they're always under here. Look at, this is the most packed areas. You can see where they defecated there, and they're laying there. So you can see the grass is definitely stirred up more, but it's still holding up. The grass is holding up really well. Even if it's in the shade and it's covered by crocodiles, it's holding up. But again, guys, land space is one of the most underestimated things for crocodilians, and they utilize it so much. But as Ryan would love too, I mean, this is definitely, you know, that's the beauty of the outdoor enclosures like this with them defecating. I mean, there's just biological, you know, bacteria and everything that'll just eat all the waste. So it's great nutrients for the grass too.
It's bioactive.
It's bioactive, it really is.
That one came walking over like we were gonna give her a little bit of food.
Yeah. But like I said, guys, this is the ultimate test of these enclosures, and I don't see any crocodile or any enclosure or any other animals having more of a stress on enclosure than these guys. So as I said, you know, with subcontractors, I like to keep everything as much as I can in my own wheelhouse. But there's some things like the fencing, the sod, you know, the plants that I simply can't do. We've been waiting for grass for probably 6 weeks to 2 months. Well, this is a rainy season, so we get a ton of rain and then the sod farm is flooded. And then it was just flooded the next week and then the next week. So we had to find a new sod guy, and we found him. So we're actually gonna get sod either tomorrow or the next day. So that's super exciting. And then once we get the sod, again, much like those enclosures over there, once we get the sod and the back gate, these enclosures are honestly done. So we cannot fill it, we cannot use this enclosure because these trees actually need to root much better, especially with them being overhanging and the weight of them. They need to hold up.
How long do they need a root for?
Base. So we probably need at least another month. So I'd say September 1st, we can start moving stuff in and start filling these enclosures. We don't have a well yet for these enclosures. That's been another subcontractor issue, but we're working with a great guy now. We're gonna get working on permits this week, and hopefully we'll have them in a month, and we'll be able to have a well just for these 4 enclosures.
And now we haven't really said it, but what are we standing on? Like we're in something.
So this is a feeding platform. So I took my ideas, took what I learned from the other place and applied it here. So I wanted something that's extremely biosecure. So it's completely sealed, as you can see. It's watertight, so no matter what you bring in with your shoes, it'll just wash out the back. We're gonna clean it up, obviously. We're gonna put decking material because this is really bugging me. The sound
it feels a little spongy too.
It's very spongy.
Like if you can see this, guys.
Yeah.
There's some give there.
So it's just a water retention area. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the decking material and make this all look nice, but we're gonna build it up, and then you're gonna have, and obviously it's slippery. So I feel like if you bend over too much, you're gonna end up in the water. So
that wouldn't be good with 4 Cuban crocodiles.
No. And honestly, guys, this is about the lowest I want to go because it kind of matches with everything else, the height of it. I'm all about matching and symmetry. And then if we go any lower, oh God, I hate the sound of it. I hate the sound of it. Any lower, then the crocodiles won't be able to go under it. So we're gonna make it look nice, dress it up. But this was kind of the first mock-up. But so far, so good. So we plan on going in with these Niles. In the future, we definitely have to correct this. First off, that's not safe. Let's see. Come on. So they come, and they come hard and fast. So that's the biggest thing, is they have absolutely no fear. And when you get one, it's one thing. But when you get 14 of them over here, and the thing is like I was saying before, with this lower sheep pile, is they can easily just hop right over it. So you can see how easily they get queued up for food. And they'll be coming for sure. Come on, guys.
So what you're saying is you gotta break that behavior.
You do, yeah. Yeah, because I mean, they're so used to the tub life where we just come overhead and just feed them in. So they're like, okay, no problem. So, but you can see it's cool to see them really move around, you know, and come over. And it's good to get their overall body weight, make sure they're all healthy, make sure there's no bites, because there is 14 animals. But it also is super beneficial to them themselves because they have incredible social skills now because they know how to interact with any crocodiles. So you could put in most any crocodile here and these guys are gonna be fine with it. Now that other one, if it's by itself, it could have issues, but social skills, especially early on with crocodilians, is very vital too, which I believe is very vital. So we are back with the big Salty. He is actually doing a lot better now. We did a feeding a couple days ago, and he came all the way in the crate again. And even the next day, or later that day when we were feeding the other guys, he went in the water and came back in the crate even without any food.
He didn't lock him in? What the heck?
Oh, we're not ready yet. We're not ready yet. So, I mean, so that's the thing too is, you know, we could move them, but honestly, August can be a busy week. If we want to be busy, it will be. And honestly, I'm planning on getting a lull, so over there, to have it to where whenever we catch a crocodile, like you were saying, if it goes in the crate, we lock it up, we're good to go. We got the crate to move it next to the trough here, get him in the crate, take him over, end of story. Actually, I think Carlos got rid of the open trailer that we were going to use.
You idiot!
Oh, well.
So now you need to get another open trailer?
See, it's just always this kind of game.
So August, we could move these guys over to the new property.
August, we need to move these guys over because August 1st is when hurricane season really starts to fire up. I mean, technically August 15th to October 15th really is when it fires up. So if you want to split hairs, we got a couple weeks.
You know what the date today is, right?
August 2nd?
Yeah.
Yes, I know. That's why I'm saying we need to move them this month.
Yeah.
Because I'd like to at least just get the fencing down. So if a crazy hurricane does hit, it's just less things to throw around. So you can see here, Christian got the pad together and ready. So we're gonna put Ursula's crate on here and then cut a hole here and just start working her. Honestly,
I think she's gonna go right in it.
She's crazy enough that she most likely would just run in. He's a little weary, but he's also very food motivated too. So let's go check him out. As you can see, we got Professor's crate here. And this will open up if we need to lure him in that way.
Okay.
And then what I always do is, you see, I coated the inside because I'm always worried about them chewing themselves up even for the 30-minute ride in here. So I put foam on either side, and what this is this gives us the availability to coax them in here without obviously them shooting out. So what I have it set up to is we can either do it one of two ways. We can either take this out if we think he's going to rub up against it during transport. We'll just unbolt those, unbolt these, shut this like this, and just simply slide it out and then close this back down. Or we just say, forget it, we'll just bolt it down as is. So all we need to do is we're going to take this section out. That's what I like about this, is just going to butt this up to here, take this door out, which is going to be a bit of a, hey bud.
He already wants to go in the crate.
He's ready to go. Easy. Yeah, he is. Wow.
Yeah, he's ready. He's like, take me to my new enclosure.
Seriously. I think he got, I want to say, I think he got 15 rats 2 days ago.
And he's still hungry.
Still hungry, yeah. I mean, it's the summer. It's the summer. You can see his tail's nice. He's starting to hold good weight, which is good to see. He's a beautiful animal. I'm excited to see him in that enclosure.
Honestly, I think he'd walk in the crate. He'd just shoot out and go straight in the crate. He may freak out once he's there and try to go backwards, but if you can get him in the first shot, I think you're golden.
But he's also the one that I had this gate open and he stuck his head out and he just
went back
tucked
in.
his tail and ran back in. So, I mean, hopefully he's, you know, comfortable and we're not going too far. Hey, bud. Hey, bud. Come on, bud.
You're on his bad eye.
Yeah. I feel like I'm always on the bad eye of him and Chubbs. Never in my favor. But he's going to be a beautiful crocodile. I'd love to see babies out of them. I think they would be great for zoos. But
great for Ryan.
I gotta figure something out because I have been quite the stickler with the salties. I know I've made a lot of haters because of those salties, because everyone wants them and I'm not willing to send any out. But I gotta loosen it up a little bit. But especially those things, I mean, that would be incredible to produce. And especially if there's 2 females. Hey, bud.
Which people don't know about 2 females. What do you mean 2 females?
2 females, yeah.
Chubb's such a dinosaur.
So we have, the thing about salties is I'm not comfortable putting 2 females together with an enclosure like the new facility with the ponds. just the single basin of water. Again, as you saw, like with those 4 enclosures over here, there's areas that can get away. Well, I don't think it's safe over there to have 2 females together in an enclosure that there really is no other water source. So what we're gonna do is put him and her together, and then we'll try to introduce the other female next year when we put them in the 200 by 100 foot enclosures. Get it moving.
So you think he'll be the easiest?
I think so. I think so. Especially because I feel like you can kind of corral him, because like you can just get him in that corner and kind of just make a V and just slowly work him. Yeah, just trap him. So I think he'd be the easiest. I mean, he's not gonna freak out like the crocodiles will. You know, when the crocodiles get stressed, they just go berserk. I mean, if they're in food mode, they go berserk. If they're stressed, they go berserk. So it's not like that with the alligators. So I think they're much easier to work with. I'm anxious to get him to a 13 footer because he's close, 2 inches, literally that much. He's a 13-foot animal, but he's such a beautiful animal too. I mean, he's so proportional. He's such a wild alligator. All right, guys, I know some of you complain about seeing the updates, but I gave you some crocs.
People complaining? What are you talking about?
People are complaining.
No one complains on YouTube in the comment section.
Never.
Jeez.
But humor me, all right? I gave you guys some crocodiles to see. Now humor me with this. I made a little bit of a mistake. So we are tearing apart 2 enclosures. I mean, again, Kyle fashion. But it's always to ensure we do it right the first time and we have no regrets. And we're doing just that. So we're at the point where we can easily change it. You know, obviously, as you guys saw with the sheet pile walls over at the 10 ponds, we were past the point of no return. So these, we're not there. So you see with the L shape and the rectangle, we're the same depth as far as the deep section and the shallow section. But then that means we lose all that land up here. So we're moving the shallow section back 3 sheets and then just making the deep section shorter.
Well, explain what you're doing here. I don't even know if we've told the people that these are in different enclosures.
Oh, okay.
Different designs.
See, that's what you're here for, right?
Yeah.
So you got the L shape. So as you guys know, like the 10 ponds, it's essentially just a giant one of the 10 ponds. So we got the big deep section and the shallow section. But what I did too is, as I was saying with like the visual barriers and just having areas that they can tuck away, they're not around each other all the time. So what I did is, you know, with an L shape, there's very few visual barriers. So what we did is we did 3 sheets up, or 3 sheets down, 4 sheets up. So what this will do is, when the crocodiles are over here, you'll have the cap on top, you'll have the bumper on top of this, and that'll block this view from here to here, because again, crocodile's eyes are about like that much out of the water, if that. So it won't take much to block this sight from this animal to that area, and that's the goal of this. So they can still slip through this way, but it still blocks the view.
And how many animals are going to be in these enclosures, like this size?
1 to 3, generally speaking. So we got Gatorade. We're going to have the trio of Yukari. We're going to have the pair of salties, the one that jumps over at me. He's going to go in here with that girlfriend of his. So we got that enclosure, and then we wanted to mix it up with these. So instead of just having 7 of the same, we decided 4 of the L shape and then 3 of the rectangle. So what this is going to be is, it's going to have that barrier right here, like I said. It's going to have that shallow section that they come into here. But right here is going to be a planted area. So this will be built up all the way. We're going to have plants that'll overhang over either side. And this will be good for like the Nile crocodiles, where there's a bunch of babies and they can have a visual barrier here and then visual barriers there, but then just have 2 sides and then have a lot of land around it. So that's the key, is having a lot of land around it. Like again, the Niles have shown me at the new facility, and these little Niles here are showing me here. So just moving that back, giving them more space. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they're working on the 6th right now. We're doing 7. So I'm thinking my goal is September 1st to have all these done, as well as the caps. The caps and the enclosure walls around them. So have the ponds done and dug and the enclosure walls done by September 1st.
So then realistically moving them by like October.
Yes,
into these.
as you know, as we're seeing now, because you know, once we get somewhere, then we realize, oh, we have this delay or that delay. Well, what's the next delay is the plants. So realistically, we're gonna try to be proactive here and get the plants in as quickly as possible once we're ready, so they can get established as soon as possible, so that we can have the crocodiles as soon as possible. So that's the key, is just putting the plants in and then starting that like essentially delay, and then we can bring the crocodiles in. Once everything's established, we can fill the water all the way up. So we got that. Luckily, we're doing 3 of these, and I caught them on the second, so they haven't started the third one yet, so we can at least change that and do that one right. We don't have to go back. But we have 2 to change, and the rest are good. All right, guys, well, that wraps up a much wanted update, right?
Yeah, I know this was a highly desirable video, but yeah, wanted to give you guys an update of all the construction since we've been out for a week, as well as a little update on some of the crocodiles. But we're gonna be doing a lot of moves coming up here in the next 30 to 60 days. Like, there's gonna be a lot of crocodiles being moved. As we've told you guys all before, every single animal that we have needs to be moved. So you guys are in for a treat. Make sure you like this video, comment, subscribe, and also follow us on Instagram and Patreon at Permanent Predators. We'll see you in the next one.
See you guys.